nga la EU la dugat binle.
Chronic water shortages, melting glaciers, catastrophic climate change, wildfires, flash floods, and droughts are all devastating effects of global warming, and we have all contributed to them in some way. Energy production and consumption have changed dramatically since the Industrial Revolution, and it's clear that we're destroying our only home, the planet Earth. As people get closer to modern living, the need for more and more energy to live a better life gets bigger. However, we don't think about how our energy system should be designed to meet these demands. Ladakh, with extraordinary natural beauty, is a high-altitude mountainous region located in and around the Karakoram and the westernmost Himalayan mountain ranges. Snow-capped peaks, majestic mountains, a beautiful landscape, and a clear blue sky further contribute to its beauty. However, its natural splendor and fragile ecosystem are also facing the accelerating detrimental effects of climate change.
65% of the carbon emission is coming from the energy used by the public and different institutions. So it mainly includes heating for the houses, which includes wood burning and fossil fuels like diesel, kerosene. And second most important source of carbon emission is transport sector.
The use of fossil fuels became a necessity for manufacturing and production plants, and the CO2 level has not decreased since. When we talk about carbon emissions, we're talking about a problem that affects everyone, not just Ladakh. It has the potential to destroy our environmentally sensitive mountainous regions in the near future, and the damage is already visible in some places.
Shu demika ma baba mane lo mane banche chungi chuksun jiksongle rawa tukpa dunpa chokona chuyong dugle te chu tene ta ko jing chang bad nya minugle ol chang ma de tan borale ne ngaja upsi jersa bap de onspen le an khachi kuli beli to khachi hati chan chun to zugrik tadle.
With rising temperatures and less snowfall, some glaciers are receding, resulting in a lack of irrigation water in many villages, which results in uncultivated fields, causing villagers to abandon their homes.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
One of his top priorities is to make Ladakh a carbon neutral region.
लद्दाख, लेह, कारगिल, ये पूरा क्षेत्र हमारे देश के लिए कार्बन न्यूट्रल इकाई के रूप में उसकी पहचान बना सकता है.
Life in Ladakh is dominated by nature. Summers are warm and pleasant, but winters are extremely cold and harsh. At about this time of year, the temperature begins to cool significantly, and most of us switch on our heating systems. Many people use wood and animal dung to keep their houses warm, and some use fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, as well as kerosene.
We have made a plan for phasing out of kerosene, so which includes mainly reducing the kerosene uses per year, because at once we can't reduce the kerosene uses. And second, we are planning for introducing new transmission lines, which includes Janskar, Nubra and Changthang region.
Work has already begun to get Ladakh on the right track to carbon neutrality, which means cutting carbon in Ladakh. However, the region's rapid urbanization has led to unplanned expansion and a shift toward high-density construction using RCC frames and cement brick masonry, resulting in both a direct an indirect impact on the environment.
और एक प्रोसेस शुरू किया गया जिसमें हम हर बिल्डिंग को डिजाइन लेवल पे ही उसकी जो है एनर्जी ऑडिटिंग कर सके। उससे जो है एनर्जी एफिशिएंट बिल्डिंग को प्रमोशन मिलेगी और इस काम को हम सबसे पहले अपने जो गवर्नमेंट के बिल्डिंग्स हैं उनमें शुरू करेंगे ताकि जो है उसको देख करके उसकी जो है रेप्लिकेशन लोग भी कर सके।
Solar passive designs reduce annual operating energy needs considerably. So we need to implement these designs and construction techniques on a larger scale in a scenario where heating is needed nearly 6 months a year, from October to March.
Pesio solar house tene Ladakh gampe na tisto testing na ma hune tio molduk I nang mur 6 testing na chikta nang bo ma lagmo nang khurigo na noche se tutpa mibing ches nang tene genang na dunchu zo chik kho tene I chamchik dosong chedo sing nang chao ne kana teo metkan song molte kho molduk.
Innovating in the development and deployment of solar energy retrofits for existing houses will be a revolutionary step toward carbon neutrality.
Tengsang itu la khangpar chikche sama retrofitting bo gozdo ma chenmo duk chia zena tekana chikchikta cost po ma nyun chache nokle khangpek somar chigasa.
Ladakh will harness renewable energy sources such as solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, and hydrogen fuel on a large scale in the coming years, which will reduce carbon emissions. Many projects have already been undertaken to make this vision a reality.
We are planning a 7.5 gigawatt solar project. This mega project will be in Changthang area, mainly Pang area. Such project will help in reducing the carbon footprint of UT Ladakh.
Electricity generated from renewable sources is expected to play an important part in Ladakh's future energy system in order to achieve carbon neutrality. A 50 MWh solar power plant with battery storage is being built in Phyang at a cost of rupees 385 crore. Land for a 5 MWh solar project has been identified in Khangral, Zanskar and Pashkum. In rural Ladakh, a total of 1,130 solar streetlights and 44 high mast lights have been erected, and the UT administration has announced plans to phase out diesel generator sets completely as part of ongoing efforts.
In 2019, 20 and 2021, we have phased out around 23 DG sets. We were consuming around 45,000 liters of diesel in per month. So we have eliminated all that diesel consumption and burning of the diesel.
Climate change is causing several temperature changes that affect both humans and wildlife. This has a direct or indirect impact on the tourism industry, affecting small businesses and shops both socially and economically.
And a lot of people are coming to see the snow leopard during winters, and that brings a lot of income generation opportunities to people, especially living in very remote areas. If climate change continues, there have been some telltale signs of snow leopard moving higher in the Himalayas, and if the snow leopard, God forbids, it goes extinct, then this great opportunity of income generation will also languish and disappear.
In order to reduce our carbon footprint, we should start using public transport as much as possible. Public transport has a significant effect as it emits far less carbon dioxide per passenger mile than private vehicles.
To promote carbon neutrality in the transport sector, UT administration as a first step has already procured 10 electric buses for the public transport, and we are also working towards changing the government fleet of vehicles to e-vehicles. So this year we are also procuring 10 e-cars. We are also planning to set up charging points, high-speed charging points at various locations. So we are constantly endeavoring in the UT administration to bring about this change.
Human activities are one of the major sources of greenhouse gas emissions. The transportation sector generates the highest amount of greenhouse gas emissions because of the burning of fossil fuels, which primarily consist of petrol and diesel. Now is the time to adopt new methods to save future generations from this threat.
A separate cycle track will also help to reduce carbon emissions, as our parents will not have to drive us to school.
ना केवल पैदल चलने वाले बल्कि व्हील चेयर एक्सेसिबल सिटी जो है बनाने का हमारा कोशिश है और उसमें साइकिल ट्रैक के लिए सेपरेट प्रोविजन किया जा रहा है। जितनी भी नई रोड्स ले सिटी और कारगिल सिटी के सराउंडिंग में या इनसाइड में डेवलप हो रही है, उसमें साइकिल और पैदल चलने वालों दोनों को प्रायोरिटी दी गई है।
With the rise in greenhouse gases from transportation, hydrogen is considered one of the most environment-friendly fuels for the future. The UT administration, in collaboration with NTPC, plans to set up a pilot project for the greenhouse hydrogen plant at Leh. A tripartite MOU between ONGC, the UT administration and LAHDC Leh has been signed for the first geothermal field development project at Puga in Changthang. Achieving carbon neutrality has a wide range of advantages for communities and societies as a whole, including improved health, less pollution, and the creation of green jobs. Many people are skeptical about how practical or financially feasible carbon neutrality is for them. This may appear to be a difficult task at first, but there are many easy steps we can take to reduce our personal carbon footprint. One of the most effective ways to start thinking about how to reduce our carbon footprint is to reconsider how much we litter. People have to become aware of the negative effects of littering on the environment.
मेन हमारा इसमें ये कंसर्न था कि प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स हर जगह फेंक रहे हैं, तो इससे काफ़ी पोल्यूशन हो रहा है। तो उसको एलिमिनेट करने के लिए हमने वाटर एटीएम्स मेजर स्पॉट्स पर लगाया हुआ है, लेह और कारगिल दोनों में। अपना कंटेनर या बॉटल लेके जाए तो वहां से रिफिल करे।
The problems of waste management in urban areas are more challenging, affecting both agriculture and the environment.
मिशन ऑर्गेनिक डेवलपमेंट इनिशिएटिव मोदी स्कीम जब से हमारे खत्ता लद्दाख में लॉन्च हुआ है, लोग ऑर्गेनिक तरीके से फार्मिंग करना शुरू कर चुके हैं। आने वाले वक्त में ये हमारे कार्बन न्यूट्रल खत्ता लद्दाख को करने में बहुत बड़ा मदद देगा।
We have already started in a mission mode the Ladakh greenhouse, and whatever we produce in the greenhouse is again a carbon neutral, because we are using this greenhouse by trapping the natural solar by using polycarbonate sheet.
To make our agricultural system climate friendly, the UT administration is committed to providing technology, services and training to help farming become carbon neutral.
There are two ways of reducing the carbon emissions. One thing is that you reduce the carbon emissions by resorting to energy basically generated from the renewable energy sources. Or second thing is that you do the carbon sequestration by planting more green plants. The forest department is trying to propagate these green plant cover wherever the water is available.
Glaciers are the only source of water for the people of Ladakh, because the region receives very low average annual rainfall. Unlike other regions, agriculture in Ladakh is not dependent on the river or monsoon, as it is only dependent on glacier melt and spring water in some places.
जिंक्स की टेक्नोलॉजी है वो काफ़ी समय से जो है, चाहे वो किसी भी रूप में यूज़ की जा रही हो, उसको और जो है प्रोटेक्शन देने के लिए, कंजर्व करने के लिए और नए जिंक्स बनाने के लिए भी प्लान में प्रोविजंस किए गए हैं। उससे भी हमें कार्बन न्यूट्रलिटी को अचीव करने में काफ़ी मदद मिलेगी।
क्रेडा का जो है हमारा सोलर लिफ्टिंग जो है ये यहाँ पे लगाए हैं, इससे हमें बहुत फायदा हुए हैं। जो हमारे पहले मोटर लगाते थे डीजल का, तो उन चीज़ों से हम दूर रहना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि उससे हमारे माशरे ख़राब होते हैं। तो उसके लिए तो इस विलेज को सबसे पहले मेहरबानी सोलर विलेज बनाए।
A solar-powered water lifting system for irrigation could bring about a revolution in many villages which are facing a severe shortage of water. It will help with a sufficient supply of water for irrigation, as well as aid in the development of new agricultural potential lands across Ladakh and more tree planting.
मैंने संग फलन जिग्यो जानो कोने मैंने कठिन ला मैंने अच्छी लाइट लेते मैंने थंगी नेट पर मैं जा लगा तो ले
ते डीजल जनरेटर बंगाता थेंचेस भी जास्ता गाता खरुक सामान लुस्ते नो तेने न्याम्पो बंगाता छुई लोग जास्ता गाता लोग थनकिन बांग खेते मांपो सोंतो नो तेवे जास्ते माउस भी गुजुन खुगु सामान खेते रारा सोसे जोटा कां चां चुन फेस ते छोवास क्यों चेसी गाता स्कपसिक थोपचे सिमा रेवा छन मनो जो
As the first generation to experience climate change and the last generation with the power to solve it, we can no longer wait for miracles to protect our planet. We cannot protect ourselves unless we also protect the environment. UT's administration is currently considering potential future scenarios in order to make the best decision for a better tomorrow. To reduce carbon emissions and aid in the fight against climate change, we must work together and act fast. Let us make Ladakh carbon neutral and progress toward a cleaner future.
I hope that with our collective efforts, the goal and the mantra given by the Hon'ble Prime Minister shall become possible in near future in Ladakh.